So give you a little video here of this raw water pump on this Yanmar. Yay. Pretty nice little setup. Super tired. Super tired, and you can tell everything's kind of corroded, and it's just been sitting. When we bought the boat, this thing had overheated, and because of the water pump, probably the belt was all shredded to nothing, and the pump wouldn't turn over by hand, and the exhaust, the muffler had melted, and this whole it was a disaster actually. So you can barely see it, but I got a new muffler there from Sweden or someplace like that. Really tough to find actually. There's the seacock. Oh no, that's the seacock for the generator. It's closed, so we're good to go. Follow that line all the way around. Boom. This is our raw water input into the engine or into the pump, and then you can see on the other side the hose. Well, you can't really see it, but anyway, the hose goes all the way over, comes up around right up here, and that's all raw water. Dumps into the manifold, cools off the cooling water or the antifreeze, and exits out the exhaust. Boop, boop, comes out here just like this, gets injected right there into the exhaust, comes down, runs out, goes through that muffler on and on. The water, of course, keeps the exhaust nice and cold, and as you can see, not always had water going through it. And this dog hair, even down here, this is probably going to be keep it clean, they say. Anyway, I decided to pull the whole bracket off with the pump itself, and that way I can clean up the hardware and the pump and put it all back together and try to stop some of that from happening down there. Clean up that pulley so that the belt doesn't get wore out, you know, a pulley that isn't painted or that is it's kind of rough or rusty will eat a belt faster than just about anything. So we'll see. Making some headway. Let's see what we got. All right, after 22 attempts to find the right size wrench. This is what happens when you get an airplane mechanic doing things, babe. You throw metric wrenches in the mix and I get lost real fast. It's like, I don't know, is 7 bigger or smaller than a 6? Anyway, 7mm happened to be the winner chicken dinner here. So we pulled this pump off because it had seized up or had stopped running and fried up the belt, and so I thought maybe the bearings were bad, and it's not seized. I can turn it, and I can't tell if that's just the impeller. Oh, the impeller's good, look at it. But I'm sure the bearings, I can get a little wobble in here, so I think the bearings are actually just taking a dump on this thing. So we'll take it apart and see. It's one of those things, cheap insurance at this point, right? Your impeller on a boat, generator, or whatever is kind of the most important part of keeping the thing running, or at least the weakest link in stopping the engine for the most part. You lose that cold salt water or fresh water, you can call it either one, wherever you're operating your boat, right? You shut that off to your heat exchanger and you overheat pretty fast, which is what happened to this generator before we had purchased the boat. And fortunately they caught it, and there doesn't seem to be like some critical damage with the generator. I got it running and it's weak, but it works. We'll get this plate off here. We'll get this plate off and figure out what we're dealing with. This and get the impeller out. I gotta pull this other stuff off too, I'm pretty sure, but let's just see. The impeller I just changed not too long ago, and the bearings felt okay, but they were a little weak. Look at that. There's your impeller. Now, let's see if I can pull this without a puller. Because, again, airplane mechanic. Do things as difficult as possible. What do you need? 2 screwdrivers? I ain't gonna screw anything up. And we'll try something a little bit different here. You know what? Okay. I had to give it a little bit of a try first to make sure I didn't embarrass myself on this video, Chris. To see if I get this impeller off of here without screwing it up too bad, and it came out pretty simple. I didn't bugger it up too bad. See, the impeller's nice and pliable and fresh and all good to go, and there's no cracks, no weather checking. We'll use that one again. Now, let's see. After all that, I'm gonna have to tell you, the bearings are absolutely fine. So maybe I just had maybe I had the wrong belt on there. That could very well be it. Well, sweet. This is how you take a pump off and put a pump back on a Yanmar. Should I change the bearings? I'm here. Might as well change the bearings. I'm here. Let's get on it. Okay, we'll pull off this pulley here. Maybe. I don't have anything to hold this with. Maybe my hands are strong enough to... Nope. Pretty weak in my old age. What do we got? Think that'll hold it? Righty tighty, lefty loosey. If I'm going this way, I want to keep it from going that way. There we go. Look, it's the same. It's the right size already. Am I driving you nuts, Chris? Yep.
No, I'm editing.
Oh, okay. Oh, this made. What could possibly go wrong? Oh no, you have no idea. I got a shit show going on over here.
I've just learned to tune you out.
Holy crap. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. Maybe this is a reverse thread. Man. That's a standard thread there. Clean this thread up a little bit. See if I can't find a little bit of spray gunkum put in there. Spray gunkum. I don't have any spray gunkum super handy. Alright, let's try one more muscle. One more try of muscle here. If I were to wrap this up, it's something to really grab a hold of. So we want to be able to go that way. So let's get one, maybe two twists through and pull and tie a knot in this thing. Try to use this for a little bit of leverage. Long piece of rope. Come on, stay on there. Come on. Yeah, this works. I'd be pretty amazed. Just because I'm so weak. Jesus. boom. Hopefully that is on the camera. That worked. That's how lazy I am. Could have went and got a vise. Or a better strap wrench, but there was a rope right here. Missile nut. Is that not even a nylock? That was just a straight up missile nut. Cool. Missile nut washer. Put it over with this other hardware that I'm going to lose. And then pull this pulley out. We'll clean this guy up, because I have a feeling that's what might be happening. Is it looks all clean, but you can feel how rough the inside of this pulley is. Maybe it's just eating those belts up, and then the belt becomes super loose, and then just too loose for the belt to spin anymore. Oh boy. That looks like it's pretty. And snap ring pliers. Here we go. Yay. All right, well, let's see if I'm a better assembler than parts orderer. Anyway, we got this all cleaned out. It's in pretty good shape, actually. These bearings are, I mean, factory lubed and obviously okay. Misdiagnosed by yours truly. So now I'm going to set this guy back in there, but let's try to get this off that same side to where that guy was. And then if we can get that, gibbity-gibbity-boos. All right, let's do hammer. Oh man, eating that hammer up. Yeah, that's it. That's what it is that keeper. So let me get another little solid. Where's another hammer? Hammer with some meat and protection. There, dead blow. There we go. Ah. That spring cut on that key. Must be a way to take that key out to get all that set back up in there. But anyway, let's get this all the way in to where it was. It is. Now let's see if I can work that spring back down around that seal. It's like not a chevron seal, but just a spring, just a seal, shaft seal. That spring's gonna hold the seal tight around that shaft. If I can get it back in there. And that's what separates the raw water or the seawater from the bearings and everything else on the back side of this pump. I need a pick. Pick. Phillips. Whatever. It's small. Will it fit? Get in there, kiddo. Get that in there. Did it happen? It happened. Look, there. It's all in there, tucked in, nice. Didn't score anything up. Too bad, I don't think. Blah, 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 blah. So then, backside, what we need to do is put this guy back in there. Snap ring. Little story about snap rings. There's two sides to a snap ring, right? Actually, there's four sides to a snap ring, right? You got like bottom side, top side, and then I suppose you have like the inside and the outside. Haha, I Anyway, there's a there's a nice edge on most snap rings that you'll get, and maybe I can get it up close so you can see it's kind of rounded on one side and then kind of can almost trim a fingernail on the other side. Well, that side that you can trim a fingernail on needs to go to the outside or the opposite side of what you're holding in place. And there's a few Continental engineers that probably wish they would have listened to that whole story. Oh, the shit. Remember those counterweights, you guys? Well, anyway. So there, snap ring placed back in the spot. This is all kind of raw water on this side. Everything looks good. Strike plate looks good. Is that what they call it? The strike plate? You can change this little plate here. It wears out. Shallow spot. Let's see. And install of a tiny impeller, which shouldn't be too bad with it off and everything out. I could, I suppose, put some gunk on here so it doesn't really seize up on that shaft at all. But I don't want to use anything that might run downstream and cause some kind of blockage, you know, congeal and blockage down the line. If you think about it, you know, the water that's coming into this thing's pretty darn cold. Chances of it corroding much isn't too bad. Stainless to brass is probably not a big deal. But let's see if I can even get the thing on here. So we get the thing kind of turned into play. You know, there's a lot of people will tell you that the vanes need to kind of go the way that they normally go from the way that it actually turns on the boat or in the motor, and I don't think it makes a difference. I think these vanes, once they're bent over and going one way or the other, that's what they do. I should probably put all this hardware back on before. Oh, I did. No, not the pulley, but that's all right. There we go. Nice, easy, happy fit, nice and flush. Let's see which way does. Yeah. Water actually comes in this way, goes out that way. Blah 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 blah. Look how convenient. Gasket's still on there. Let's just take and put this backside on and we'll just be done with this. Put together the rest of the stuff and reinstall it, and we'll see if it runs. And then I'll order the correct bearings and impeller and all that jazz. But this will be good to have just in case of an emergency. It's getting pretty cold here. It's 25 degrees outside today, and we're 100, well, not 100%, but extremely dependent on electricity to keep everything warm on the boat here, as far as like keeping stuff from freezing up and causing big issues. Not comfort, just like safety stuff. And if the power goes out, it's super windy right now, so if the power goes out, then we kind of sit there and play a waiting game until everything, you know, comes back online. And this generator affords us the ability to not stress too much if it gets into hour 2 or 3 when it's super cold out, from having anything in the bilge freeze up, because we still have water on here. Our water lines are full, the pumps are full, and all that jazz. So anyway, we'll get this thing put back together, put back on, and that way it's there in case I need it, and we'll wait for the other parts to come, and I'll make another video with the right parts, and we'll see how that turns out. This one, let's see, always tighten a circle like this. Never ever tighten a crossways. Like, I'm kidding, you should always tighten crossways, but I'm doing this because there's exceptions to the rule. I don't know, whatever. You do that so that the plate doesn't warp. It's a pretty small plate, pretty insignificant torque. I don't think it's gonna matter. But on the wheels of your car, you might want to do that. Yeah. All right. Oh, here we go. this guy right there, right? Yeah. Ding, ding, ding. Okay, we'll reinstall it and get the right belt on there this time. Let's reinstall. I found a belt that, welcome to living on a boat. Pretty compromised looking. But considering I'm going to do the bearings again later anyway, and this is just going to be a repeat job, we'll replace this old guy with this old guy. This little guy's just got 0 miles, that's all. See if I can get it on there. Crank. It's got a compression release, so it's pretty easy to turn this thing over by hand. The scary thing is that it's not engaged. Oh, we're almost done. There we go. There. Okay, look how nasty that pulley is. That needs to get cleaned up. It's going to eat these belts up. You can feel this belt's actually got a concave side going on there. It's just slowly eating up this belt, and I'm pretty sure now that that's what happened to this old belt. Was this crankshaft pulley. You can't see the back side there, but there's another pulley that this belt runs on the inside of this one, and it's pretty rusty, and so I'm sure that's what it did. It just eats the belt. The belt gets skinnier, and as the belt gets skinnier, right, the tension becomes less and less and less until the water pump doesn't turn anymore. But now that I know that I need to get the right parts to fix all that stuff, well, whatever. It's all a learning process. 52 years old and still learning this crap. This ain't crap, this is fun stuff. Hey, look. Nice expensive tools. Well, let's see, here it is. Yeah. These are drop forged chrome vanadium, whatever, boat tools. But these you've ever had a paper cut? Try some of this stuff. This stuff's freaking great. Oh man, just a chrome paper cut. Okay, let me get some tension on this guy. And then, what's that? Okay, after some finagling here, I got the tension pretty darn where it should be on these belts, and didn't clean up anything that I really wanted to clean up, but since we're going to be visiting this project again sooner than later, this will work for now. Let's see if I just get this water back on. This is the intake. These should really be double clamped. Just if you folks are into doing compliance and safety and being smart, kind of the opposite of a lot of the stuff that I've done. These things should, yeah, that's it. This guy. Apparently this doesn't need a clamp. Let's get that all the way on. There we go. Anyhow, these should be double clamped. Okay, we'll do a quick leak check on the Yanmar here. Let's see. Here's the kind of all set up. Let's go ahead and pull those over. That's compression release, which it doesn't really need. But let's see if this thing will start here. To say that we got an issue. Well, that sucks. Hey, do you guys remember me telling you about that 2-clamp system? Look, here's 2 clamps. And here's a big leak. I haven't touched these clamps. I'm kidding. I loosened them up. It had melted when the impeller quit working and kind of compromised this connection here. I had to, this muffler I bought, and I had to cut it down to the right length because you can install different size. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. I cut it a little bit short, so it was barely hanging on there. But, and then it melted. And then now I got drippy water stuff happening and grossness underneath the generator area, which sucks. But anyway, fixable. I can scoot this back. I didn't trim too much off. I just didn't do it right the first time, I'm guessing. So let's try a second time. Yay, and I'll use 2 clamps again. Okay, I got these 2 clamps biting what's left of that hose and that connection there. Running out of real estate. I'd probably have to order another one of these cans relatively soon. But anyway, that's got a good 1.5 inches of positive engagement in that hose there, so that should be fine. And then this side, again, need to double clamp. I thought this side might have gave loose there, but it's it was fine. It just got sprayed because everything came out of there, I'm guessing. You can see. So I've got some cleanup to do here, and then we'll, where'd it go? Oh, then I'll let's check that mess right there. Okay, let's see if this see if this generator will start now without sending a bunch of exhaust into the bilge. And here we go. Giant hole in this thing. Well, that sucks.